Alright guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. Alright, so, we're going to take down another one of these missions here for the new GT Legendary Goku events. And we're going to be using the Corroded Body and Mind category team to take down the category mission in here. And we will be doing this no item, of course. I can't just go ahead and put videos, for y'all. Where I'm using items against these missions, right? What's the purpose of me rainbowing these units, getting these equips, grinding these links, boy? Sheesh. The link grinding, if I was going to start using items for a lot of these. Now, all right, to get this right out of the way, I finished AGL Rose only like a couple of weeks ago. Like, I just got AGL Rose to full level 10 links. It was actually, again, like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, or something like that. Now, my Int Goku Black is not done. And that is really bad for him, because he is a big bad boss's unit. So Int Goku Black, depending upon the situation, is just like way underpowered compared to how he even could be. Now, basically, this run is pretty much never safe, right? Because basically, Int Goku Black, Mass Saiyan, AGL Rose are absolute sitting ducks at the start here. They're complete fodder. All three of them at the start. AGL Rose has to take, like 6 hits or something like that, in order for him to build up his full defense. Once his defense is fully built up, then he's looking pretty good. Now, this run did take quite a while. This was a very slow run, so there's going to be some points here where I'm just sort of speeding it up to just sort of keep things from taking way too long, right? Now, obviously, global players, can see that I am taking advantage here of the same name update, right? By utilizing both of the Super Janembas, both of the EZA Super Janembas, EZA and STR Janembas. I'm utilizing both of them, right? Which is big, because as you guys can see, in something like Extreme Super Battle Road, these guard characters, like a lot of these Janembas, like, if you're going to take them into, like, the Extreme Tech stage or something like that, they still don't really look that impressive, right? They'll take a lot of damage. But when you start talking about events like this, where you're going to be type neutral and stuff like that, these guard abilities that the Janembas have is just crazy. Now, Fat Janemba, you guys are going to notice, performs incredibly well here. Honestly, this run wasn't too bad. I think this was only my second try, I think. It's hard. Like, I did so many, like, of these category runs and stuff, like, back to back to back. The only one that actually took me legit, like, attempts was Power Absorption. The rest of them, it was, like, first or second attempt. Just depending upon some things, right? Now, this is huge. We got lucky in that I was able to transform with Int Rose very quickly, very early on. That is another huge thing, because obviously this team does not really link the best together and stuff like that. So Int Rose, like him transforming into Rose, he does then, I believe, get a 50% chance to crit, which is fine. But more importantly, he's giving extreme class allies 3 key. That's very powerful. So both of the Roses on the team are going to be giving 3 key to all extreme class allies, which is going to make things so much easier, right? Because what I really need to do every single turn with the key orbs, is we have to prioritize the Fat Janembas, right? We really want to make sure, with 2 rainbow orbs, I usually feel very, very comfortable, right? We do want to grab those 2 rainbow orbs, give them that damage reduction, plus guard, plus, high defense. The friend Fat Janemba is full level 10 links, so he also is going to be rocking big bad bosses at level 10, which obviously is really helpful. Like, when Fat Janemba here has big bad bosses active, like, his defense is really good. Like, you guys are going to see, like, Fat Janemba is going to take almost no damage in here. This really is, like, Fat Janemba's ideal, like, event, is this, right? Like, he could definitely be solid in the God event. Did I do... yeah, I did do a video for Fat Janemba in, the God event. Janemba could be okay in there depending upon how things work out, right? But again, most of the time you do want to sort of go type advantage in the God event, like a full team of type advantage. We will not be transforming a Janemba, by the way. Obviously, this is a no-item run, right? When Janemba transforms, he loses his guard ability and sort of swaps that out for dodge. His damage goes way up, and he swaps out guard for dodge. But, like, that's pointless because Ultra Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku cancels dodging. You can't dodge him. So there's literally no reason to transform with Janemba whatsoever. So we actually will not be transforming. The only, like, reason why we would ever want to transform is if, like, it gets to the very, very end and it's like, okay, if we transform into Super Janemba here, we probably could take Goku out, but if we stay in Fat Janemba form, we won't be able to take him out. That's really the only situation, right? Now, this Super Saiyan 3 Goku is very scary. Because Int Goku Black, again, as much as possible, I would like to keep Int Goku Black on rotation, because he does greatly stack defense. The problem with Int Goku Black, he would actually be, I mean, they kind of, he needs a complete revamp, honestly, but, he doesn't have any start of turn defense, which is what really causes him to stack very slowly, right? Now, this goes on for maybe like almost 30 turns or something like that. So, you know, we have ample time to be able to get Int Goku Black, you know, that defense really, really high by the end of it. Because like, I think even at this point, yeah, he's only at 133k defense. Turn 9, Int Goku Black is at 133k defense, just not really that good. And that's with the two Rosés next to each other, right? Like, you know, these two together is a really powerful rotation, but there's no, like, strict rotation I'm sticking to or anything like that. I'm just sort of, like, rotating everyone all over the place because I just want to try and, like, keep myself from taking too much damage, you know, really allow the stacks to kick in. Now, I remember during this run, Int Goku Black gets a ridiculous amount of double super attacks. And, like, again, I go over my units at the end of every one of these no-item runs, so we'll take a look. But I think he's, like, 12 additional and 12 crit or something like that. It's not even like he's got, like, 20-plus additional. So I actually got very lucky throughout this run with Goku Black getting all of the additionals that he does, right? And obviously, it's very, very important that Goku Black gets those additional super attacks because he needs to build that defense up fast, man. The good news, though, is that this is the last time he'll be type disadvantage is against Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So, you know, once we move on after this, we don't have to worry about him being type disadvantage. And then once we make it to the very end, he'll have type advantage over Ultra Full Power Goku. So that's going to be good. Now, again, I would like to point out that throughout the majority of this run, I actually do get very, very lucky. I feel like the orb placement throughout the majority of this run was so good. Like, I've played this game enough that I feel like it is absolutely true that Super Battle Road, I'm telling y'all, the orbs are, like, more unforgiving than even, like, this event right here. Like, I don't, like, they have some sort of algorithm or something in place to sort of determine how the orbs work and stuff like that. I'm telling y'all, in Super Battle Road, orbs are not, like, as, like, clean as they are here, right? Like, in Super Battle Road, you really want, like, rainbow orb changers or something, because you're not just going to get, like, these huge paths of orbs all the time, right? But it's like, look throughout this event, like, there's just so many, like good paths for Janemba to choose from, right? And the thing is I'm not even, like, I don't have any orb changes or anything like that. Now, we also get some turns that are actually really lucky, like this right here. STR Janemba would be able to tank Great Ape Kid Goku much better than, like, Mass Saiyan would, because Mass Saiyan is just relying on defense. Janemba at least has guard. Janemba also can dodge. My STR Janemba is very underrated, by the way. People still, to this day, pretend like STR Janemba's bad when he is a god, is what he actually is, right? It's just him and Janemba they have very, very similar levels of performance. But, like, it's just weird to me because I thought we all agreed, like, oh yeah, Int Janemba's, like, you know, one of the best units in the game. Like, yeah, duh. Like, if you have a brain, you know that, right? And then, like, STR Janemba comes out and everyone's like, oh, he sucks. It's like, what? Like, or am I crazy? Like, huh? Who? What? So, I don't know. Like, but STR Janemba, mine has, like, 22 dodge or something like that. And he also does have, I don't know exactly how his dodge mechanic works. I've heard that it's not, like, you know, as, like, it's not as effective, like, as it reads, right? Like, it's actually a little bit worse than the way it just directly reads off of his passive. but he does get increased chance to dodge as he dodges. And obviously, against Ultra Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku, we can't dodge him, but we can still dodge the entirety of the event until that last stage. Now here we go, Goku Black getting double super attacks, which is really, really big. The thing about this transform Goku Black double supering too is that, remember, he does have, I think, a 50% chance to crit on his passive. So, like, you know, the more of these, like, additional supers we get, you know, we're going to have some really good opportunities to potentially do, like, double crit supers and stuff like that, which would be very, very good, right? All right, so now we get to Super Saiyan 4 Goku. This is where things, like, honestly, this run could have died right here. If we would have came in here and the orbs would have been bad, we could have died. But, like, we came in with a godly, like, orb set. Like, look at this. Like, we got so lucky. Both Fat Janembas were able to get their full passives active, you know, damage reduction and the support type abilities to really help the rotation out. Like, if I had come into this turn and we had, like, no luck with orbs, it would have been really, really bad. But, like, we had, there was a shit ton of rainbow orbs and stuff like that on the field. This was probably the make or break turn throughout the entire run, honestly, because, like, now we're starting to get to the point where, like, Mass Saiyan and Int Goku Black, their defense is starting to get really, really high, right? AGL Rose should, I believe his full passive is already built up, right? His damage is good. Don't forget about AGL Rose, too, is that he's going to be at, like, a lot of times I believe the number is, like, 188k defense that we've seen him at. When he super attacks, he gives himself a 1 turn 50% defensive increase, right? He greatly raises defense for 1 turn. So that's another very important thing to consider. So at this point, yeah, dude, look at Int Goku Black. Like, now we're talking, right? For sure, we will take double-digit damage from this Goku's normal attacks. We don't have anything to worry about when it comes to this Goku's normal attacks. Basically, with the entire team at this point. It just provided that, like, you know, our boy Janemba can, you know, get the double rainbow orbs, the fat Janemba, that, you know, that obviously is very important. So again, from this point on, there's another double super attack by Int Goku Black. Seriously, it seems like nearly every single turn. And then AGL Rose, he'll take double digits too. It's just very important that with AGL Rose, again, we just have him super attack first. To get that extra 50% defensive increase. That's such, like, it's such a powerful effect to have. And then the Int and SDR Super Janembas, right? Really the only thing they have to do is just, you know, sort of float around, sit there and look pretty. If I can get super attacks with them so they could do damage, cool. But for the most part, both Int and SDR Janembas, they're just, like, ultra powerful, right? Yeah, and if I could just hide Mass Saiyan, ideally, and not even allow him to potentially get super attack, that would be good. I sort of noticed that defense was way higher for the two Roses, and it was big bad bosses. Look how low-leveled my Int Rose is, by the way. I still have many links to go on him. Ugh. It's like, you know, again, I wish I could have... There's so many characters I use so far in this GT Legendary Goku event, like in these no item runs, that are not full link level 10. Like, especially, you know, this run, Connected Hope, and Space Traveling Warriors, all 3 of those runs are filled with units I don't have full link leveled. I wish I would have been able to get them done, but, you know, I'm about to hit 200 link level 10 units. I'm grinding nonstop. It's just, there's a lot of units in this game, right? So it's like, I'm working as hard and as fast as I possibly can, but it is taking quite a while. To get a lot of these characters done. I really should probably go through and finish every single Dokkan Fest in the game, because, like, a lot of those are like the units I use that are not link level 10s, like Int Goku Black, Physical Future Gohan, STR Namek Goku. You know, a lot of characters like that I was using, again, who are not full level 10 links. So, all right. That is actually really big right there, that we dodged that Super Saiyan 4 Goku super attack. That's very, very helpful, right? Just to allow us to have as much health as possible going into the fight with Ultra Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku is really good. Now, again, as long as AGL Rose does not get super attacked by him, we should be good. But again, not every run is going to be as easy as the Battle of Wits run was, right? Battle of Wits was very, very simple to do. Because of the fact that I was able to just toss, you know, the SCR Super Vegito, like, sort of like fusion and transformation out, and then we were able to, you know, have that Scouter effect. That Scouter effect is just absolutely crazy. And the other thing, too, like, Battle Wits, like, you could use Piccolo, you have SCR Vegito, AGL Super Vegito, when he falls below 40% HP, he's got the Scouter effect. Like, all of those Scouter effect units are just so good. Like, the Scouter is, like, the strongest ability in the game, right? Being able to see where enemy super attacks are is just, like, so powerful. Like, I would love for them to drop, like, another Dokkan Fest that would allow us to have that ability. That would be fantastic. Okay, so this turn is very problematic, right? So, like, before I was like, oh, we got so lucky. This one is actually kind of bad right here. Because, again, we really would want Fat Janemba in slot 1. And I wasn't even really too sure. I believe this is the first time I made it to Ultra Full Power Goku. Again, I'm pretty sure this is the second attempt I did for Corroded Body and Mind, but I believe this is the first time I made it this far. So I didn't know how much damage, like, STR and Janembas would take from this guy. Like, I wasn't really too sure of, so... but, like, Janemba does fine. Like, 185k? Like, that's... dude, that's fine. Like, again, this is the guy people call him bad. People call him bad. Look what he just did. They call him bad, by the way. Like, yeah, he's bad. He's so bad. Like, it's ridiculous, right? And, like, you know, a lot of those attacks, if not for, you know, Goku being an enemy that can hard counter him, you know, with, you know, one of the, what is there, like, 5 enemies in the game that neutralize dodging? Like, I know the Tech Hit boss fight does. Like, I remember a hit has in Dokkan Battlefield before. Who else? There's, like, the Gogeta at the end of Infinite Dragon Ball History, Int UI Goku. Like, it's not, like, bosses that cancel dodging are not very common. Oh, actually, you know who another one that actually does it? Is the Universe 7 Infinite Dragon Ball History stage. Definitely the hardest of all those stages. The one that comes out for the 6-year anniversary. In that stage, LR, Goku, and Frieza are the final fight, and they cancel dodging, right? What's funny is, this event right here, he's tech at the end, seemingly to hard counter AGL UI Goku. And then that Infinite Dragon Ball History stage, it's the same thing. Seemingly, the final boss is tech with dodge canceling to hard counter AGL UI Goku. So you can't just sort of, like, easily cheese it with AGL UI. But when they do that, when they design these bosses like that, what they're doing at the same time is setting up Evolution Blue Vegeta to be the best unit in the game for that event. Because I probably would argue that LR Evolution Blue Vegeta is the best character in the game for this event right here. I can't really think of a character who would be better. Because, I mean, just as long as you don't get caught against the Super Saiyan 3 phase, that would be really bad. Vegeta would take a lot of damage there, right? But as long as you're not going to get hit in, like, that phase, you're going to be fine. And then remember, Vegeta has the Revive. That's one of the big things. Not only you have the active skill, which will do massive damage to this Goku right here. Vegeta has type advantage against this Goku. So Vegeta's very, very good. I would say Vegeta's super underrated, right? Like, if people, like, I feel like if, like, again, he is the second best unit in the game. I'm very comfortable saying that. And I see a lot of people say that, like, Vegeta is, like, not even as good as, like, the GT Dokkan Fest duo that just came out. And that, it's just, like, laughable. Like, it's like the GT duo is, like, really good with their orb changing and stuff like that. But, like, you know, Evolution Blue Vegeta, like, he's got that active skill attack, which is only turn 4, right? You could see that very often. Whereas, you know, the GT Dokkan Fest duo, remember that theirs is, you know, like, turn 8, 9, 10 plus is the only time you'll see it, right? You do not get their active skills very often whatsoever. And then, of course, like, again, the Revive. The Revive mechanic is very powerful, especially if you're rocking a lot of characters on the team that can utilize the Revive mechanic. Like, that's when it's really strong. Like, that's why, like, reps of Universe 7 can be so powerful if you're rocking, like, you know, like, double Evolution Blue Vegeta, if you've got like AGL UI Goku on there, like LR Roshi, like you just have all these characters that have the potential to revive, like then it's just very easy to sort of get that mechanic off, right? Now, the one thing about the revive mechanic you do have to understand, though, is that, you know, they did balance it by making it to where you can only revive once per fight, no matter how many revive characters you have. But I think that is a good way to balance it, right? Because otherwise, you know, you would just be borderline immortal if you could just use the revive mechanic over and over and over. So I do understand why they did that. And again, I do think that probably is a very solid way to sort of balance it. So in the meantime, we're just sort of fighting this ultra full power Goku. Again, a lot of what I'm doing here is just sort of maneuvering things, orbs for Fat Janemba, right? Like trying to make sure he can get that support ability, trying to make sure he can get double rainbow orbs for the DM introduction is super important. Because Janemba, especially mine, that's rainbow level 10 links. I believe I have a defensive equip on him. Like, you know, with that guard, another double super attack by Goku Black, by the way. But, like, when he is getting that guard ability, supering, which increases his defense by 30%, you know, he's got Big Bad Bosses active. He gives that support type buff to the whole rotation. Like, if there was an ultra, like, I don't know, if they released, like, a new base form Goku Black or something like that, and he was, like, a ridiculous, like, rainbow, like, if he was, okay, imagine, like, the Dokkan Fest GT Vegeta, but it's just base form Goku Black instead. Like, that would massively power up Janemba, right? Actually, you know who would be... Okay, you know who actually would be a better fit for that, even than Goku Black? Would probably be like an LR Super Janemba, because then he would be on both the Corroded Body and Mind and Movie Bosses category team, right? LR Super Janemba is definitely something that's going to happen, by the way. I still think Gogeta and Janemba for Worldwide Download Celebration is very possible, because they were doing movies for so long for a reason, right? Maybe they're leading up to the 2022 Dragon Ball Super movie. I would say that's very possible. Just making sure that, you know, because yeah, actually, that real maybe I should maybe do a separate video on that. But they might be doing that where they're setting it up to where like they're really establishing movie heroes and movie bosses as like super premium teams going up to when, you know, whatever movie characters end up releasing in Dokkan, right? Because remember, you know, right now we don't know any details about what's going on with the movie, right? But whatever, like, major, like, characters, you know, any new forms or anything like that, like, they're gonna be in Dokkan within the first couple days after the movie's release, right? So, like, it's gonna be very, very hype. That's why, like, again, we have no idea what the release date is in 2022, but it'll be very interesting. I'm sure Dokkan's schedule could end up being a lot different next year, right? Like, you know how they've sort of kept a lot of these patterns, right? Like, oh, there was a dual Dokkan Fest at this time and stuff like that. Like, Global sort of changed things a lot, but JP is now, like, pretty much almost for, like, the third year in a row, like, running on, like, almost the exact same pattern, right? Next year, I think, could be drastically different, though, because there could be a lot of, like, sort of, like banner releases and stuff like that they're going to be lining up to sort of match with when the movie comes out, right? So again, we will want to keep an eye on that. It's going to be a very exciting time for Dragon Ball in general, because I'm sure Xenoverse 2 will probably get another, like, their 20th millionth update, and they'll probably get, like, the characters, like, Legends is going to have the character. It's going to be super hype when, you know, I don't know, Super Saiyan 4 Broly from Dragon Ball Super or something like that. You know, when he's coming out all these games at the same time, it's going to be just, like, so cool. All right, so we're just sort of wrapping up here. I remember being terrified right here because it's like, man, you know, we're 25 turns deep. This is such a long run. And now I have to sit here with this like, you know how scary that second slot is right there? I've talked about this before in one of these other runs. But, like, if there was, like, 2 hits there, it's like, whatever. But when I see just one solitary hit, you guys know what I'm talking about. The amount of times that this Goku or, you know, UI Goku from the OG Legendary Goku event, the amount of times it's like, oh, there's just one attack right there. As long as it's not a super attack, we're good. And then that's always a super attack, right? So I was just, like, petrified right here. Like, I'm going to be so salty. Like, look at his health right here. Like, if AGL Rose doesn't finish him and he's super attacked, like, do you know how frustrating that would be? Because, again, this is a long run. This requires a lot of luck, more so at the start of the event, when Int Goku Black and Mass Saiyan and AGL Rose are very, very weak. That's where you need a lot more luck, more so than the end of this event, right? So there we go. Corroded Body and Mind, done, no item. Corroded Body and Mind is not too bad for a long event like this. Again, because like Mass Saiyan, Int Goku Black, EGL Rose, all can look fairly impressive in a difficult long event setting. There we go, 31 minutes right there. So let's see, we're just about at 25 minutes. Okay, good. So I shaved off by fast forwarding some of those segments, like a good 7 or so minutes. I might actually, I probably could have shaved off a little bit more time. Maybe I'll try, because I think the Connected Hope one is also like, I think that might be like around 35 minutes. I might try and shave that down maybe to like 20 minutes or so before I record the commentary for that. Although that one, that one is a bit more tedious, but I do get super lucky in the Connected Hope one as well. That will be the next one, and then the last one is going to be Space Traveling Warrior. So now I'll just sort of go over the equips and stuff of all these characters. Again, I hate on Tech Janemba a lot. I mean, I don't know if hate is the proper word. Instead I would say criticism. He's very poorly designed. I feel like it's not slander or hate if it's justified, right? And again, Tech Janemba I think is very poorly optimized, a very poorly designed unit. But here we go. You know, here's all my equips. I wish Int Goku Black was done, but I guess Int Goku Black was the only character on the team that wasn't full level 10 links. A lot of them have got good equips and stuff like that. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.